So here we are in Toranomon. This is a station on the Hibiya line, the Ginza line, and the Marunouchi line, and it's the heart of where Japan's government is, just over there, but it's also where one of the tallest buildings in Japan is, just over here. And in this episode, we're going to be walking down Soto Boridori towards Shimbashi station on what is maybe one of the worst days of March, and it just started. No, you know what? I think yesterday might have been worse. That is the Kasumigaseki building right there. It used to be Japan's tallest building. And that right there is the Toranomon building, I believe. It's one of the tallest. It's in the clouds. It's just showing you how awful today is. Wipe the lens. What's cool about this area is because of these skyscrapers, it kind of reminds me of New York in a way, like big cities in the United States, a lot of glass and steel, a lot of echo from the cars going by and the urban noises. It's not typhoon season, it's just March. March is famous for winds mostly. It's really windy, and March can be worse than the February and January with the chill because of the wind. It's just I did an episode just a couple of days ago stating how bad it is. Now, Toranomon Station, here's the Toranomon Kotohira Tower. So there's some really big skyscrapers, Toranomon Hills, which is here. But on this side, near Sakuradamon, Kasumigaseki, this is where Japan's government is really located. You have the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, you have the Ministry of Finance, the central government building where a lot of the representatives are, the Japan Patent Building. I have some friends who work there, actually. The Cabinet Building Office. So there's a lot of security in this area. It looks completely different. And Hibiya Park is just up there. But we're gonna be walking in this direction on Soto Boridori on an awful day. It's freezing. I'm out here for you. I'm out here for me too. I gotta get some steps in today. I am not gonna sit out inside editing all day. So let's go over where exactly we are in this live stream one last time for fun. You can't get any more central than Toranomon, really. Well, you probably could, but the emperor lives there. Toranomon is very central. It's a place where a lot of skyscrapers have been going up more and more. They're knocking down those old Showa era buildings. That's Soto Boridori going towards Shimbashi station on the now top of your screen, that white patch. We're gonna walk straight down there, kind of skirting the skyscrapers and the older buildings. Maybe see some alley restaurants, and we'll hit the Yamanote line to the plaza with the big locomotive on Shimbashi station. You can see Tokyo Tower on the left side. So we're, staying in this area, Toranomon, it's kind of expensive because a lot of people that are dealing with the government are the ones that are staying there. But, it's a pretty central area. It's kind of nice, especially with Toranomon Hills, a lot of stylish restaurants, but it's a little expensive here. Gotta be honest with you. Shimbashi, probably the better option. It's sort of my backyard. Again, I did a quiz before. That is the police mascot. Always wear a helmet, except I probably should remember that. Leo wears a helmet. In Japan, we have what are called mamachari, which are these one-speed bicycles. A lot of people don't wear helmets, which is probably not a good idea. They should probably make them more prevalent, but I don't know. I haven't had any problems, knock on wood. It's all glass and steel in this area. It's hard to find helmets. You can get them on Amazon and online, Rakuten. Wow. What'd you do in the snow yesterday, writes in Jan. And that's how I would say it in Dutch, so I think it's Jan, right? I stayed home. I stayed inside. I took care of Leo, and we went to try to find some food since Mom was away. The way that the ambulance sound echoes with the skyscrapers around, it's so much louder. All right, while we're waiting for this traffic light, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to our sponsor for this episode, Magical Trips. Thank you to Magical Trips. They are a company that gives locally run tours. These are all done by locals, showing you local areas. I took 3 trips from Magical Trip over the course of the last several years. This one in Shinjuku. Local guides, local areas. This one, it was in Hiroshima, showing me the atomic bomb epicenter with Yo and his son. It was really great tour. Made an episode on this as well. But you know, getting insight from local tour guides really opens up Japan, I think, because it's a different experience than if you try to do it on your own. This one was a foodie tour, really great for beginners into Japan, but our guide here, I can't remember her name, Nana? She introduced us to foods that were very local, like to Kyoto. That's a word that I want to tell you, local businesses, local experiences. And for solo travelers, taking a tour with Magical Trip is really cool because you get to make a lot of other friends when you're on these trips. So I want to say thank you to Magical Trip. If you use the coupon code ONLYINJAPAN, you get 5% off right now on the tours. And I'll put a link in the description as well to promote this. I think it's a win-win. I'm glad to be working with Magical Trip, so thank you very much. It's cold. It's cold. Woo. Tomorrow his son is already a great guide. Christian, his son is a guide? Oh my goodness. I've been in touch with him a couple of times. I always keep in touch with people I meet when I make these episodes, which it's an amazing thing. And I got bad news that his I think that was his great uncle or grandfather, who lived in Kure at the time. He was a teacher. He was 92 when I interviewed him. He was a teacher in Kure, the neighboring town, and he saw and felt the bomb, and he came into Hiroshima the next day to try to help out, and he described what he saw. It was just horrific. I'm going to Nagasaki in 2 weeks to interview hibakusha, survivors of the Nagasaki atomic bomb, and I think that that's going to be an amazing episode and look at Nagasaki, which often gets forgotten because it's so far away from Tokyo. But Magical Trip is doing some really great things, and the tours are affordable, all-inclusive, and I think I'm loving this alley. And you know, having worked with them and taken their tours, I really do think that they do a great job. The guides are so good. They teach me stuff. I've been here for 27 years and they teach me stuff. Look at that restaurant. God, I want to eat there. A lot of really neat alleys. And you don't get a lot of tourists that come to these places and these alleys here because it's just not in the outside. So it's kind of like the outer moat, the outer gate of the Imperial Palace. Look at this shop. It's a sushi shop. All made of wood. It really sticks out on the street. The facade. Is that hinoki? You can kind of smell the wood. Interesting. I've done this walk so many times to Shimbashi. I like taking the subway. I really do. I like riding the trains, but I prefer walking whenever I can. And here's the thing. Tokyo is a very walkable city, and a lot of those stations that you see, you don't have to go, for example, Harajuku. You don't have to go to Harajuku to get to Harajuku. You can go to a station without changing trains and just walk 5 minutes to Omotesando or like Meiji Jingumai or even Kitasando. There's a bunch of other stations on different lines. You don't have to transfer to get there exactly. Definitely don't transfer to JR to get there unless you're trying to go to the station. This is interesting. There's a Toyota rent-a-car very central in the city. They're the ones I use the most, but they're also one of the most expensive ones. But I've never had an issue with the cars. They're all maintained and clean, and driving and a well-maintained car is that's your safety right there. So sometimes it's good to pay a little bit more if they're well-maintained. And I never get dinged with like these excessive charges and stuff. So it's nice to see. I don't know if it's just hard to drive out of the city center unless you're like going straight onto the expressway. Driving, especially for a tourist visiting for the first time and not knowing the local traffic laws, it's hard to rent. So it's sometimes better to get it from a rent-a-car place, maybe a little bit outside of the city center near an expressway entrance, so then you can catch your, hit the ground running with no traffic and no stress, because driving in Tokyo is kind of stressful. I love the city. Look at this. All these different kinds of buildings, colors, different eras. I always like to say, I like the fact that this guy's wearing a hat, right? I think they should give him some hair or something, or at least give him a nose. 3 little pigs outside of a glue company. He can huff and puff and try to blow down that house made of sticks, but if all the sticks are glued together, good luck, Wolf. That's pretty funny. Yeah, walking around Tokyo is great. I think some days don't plan anything. Just plan days to walk around the city and find stuff that nobody knows about, and you're just gonna end up having something of an adventure. Look at this place. Is this a cafe or something? I thought this was a cafe. This is a Docomo shop for mobile phones, cell phones. Look like a cafe, but the design of this building is really nice. Look at this. Looks like it's a new building. The architecture certainly very new. A lot of the architecture inspired by Kengo Kuma. Oh, there's the Shinkansen going by. Just missed it. I've got to notice that the signal is not very strong in this intersection. A lot of the newer buildings are inspired by Kengo Kuma, and a lot of them have wood in them. And they're using that because Japan's historically, the architecture, the buildings in Japan, and Tokyo in particular, were made of wood. In Japan in general, right? That's what they had. It was made of wood and bamboo, a lot of wood. And that's getting incorporated into a lot of the new designs to get back to basics of the wafu, the Japanese style of architecture. So I think they're building a skyscraper made of wood. I've heard this rumor. Here's Uchisaiwaicho. Uchisaiwaicho is a handful, a mouthful. Uchisaiwaicho. It's on the Toei line. Hey, I got a question for anybody. They have this restaurant called Volks. I'm trying to track down the history of this chain, but Volks sounds like a German. Welcome, isn't that welcome in German? It seems like it's inspired by Germany, and it's interesting. They've turned in a lot of the public telephone booths into free Wi-Fi. So if you need to get some information, get a taxi or something, you can log on with the free Wi-Fi here from the city of Tokyo, and that's kind of neat. If you have a smartphone, or you can make a phone call. They still work. The reason they keep them around is in case there's they keep it around in case there's an earthquake or an emergency that warrants that where you need to get on a hard line. having hard lines is a really good idea. There's the Shinkansen. I knew he was coming. It's pronounced as Folks. Folks? But it has a V in it. I always thought it was interesting, like Volkswagen. I always thought that was a really interesting name for a restaurant. Family restaurant, I've been there a couple times. All right, we're nearly there. And I'm nearly wet. Like all these little micro raindrops have been adding up into waterlogging me a bit. I've been seeing this a lot. There are a lot of make your own sushi places or teaching sushi, and it's interesting. We're just walking by, so we give them a shout out here. Making sushi classes, calligraphy classes, and they have here papers that, boy, they're really smart. You can take one and talk about the experience, I guess. Doing this is kind of neat as well because it gives you a chance to do something cultural, you know? And I think that Japanese culture is so fantastic. Tea ceremony. Look at those happy people. Oh, she's doing tea ceremony right there. Sado. That's nice. They're closed though. And in a way, it looks like it's out of business. It's kind of empty in there. Sam is in the house. Mahalo, my friend from Hawaii. Nice to see you, Sam. Shinkyote. That's a restaurant. Let me see what they got here. Shinkyote. All right, this looks like is that Shanghai? Chinese cuisine. Wow. Is that shark fin soup sometimes? I was looking at the menu there. Looks like Shanghai cuisine. Okay. That's more on the list of chain cafes. It's closer to the middle bottom. Sort of. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. These places are. Is this what I think it is? Good office. These are like rental office spaces. Yeah, it is. Where you could rent office spaces if you're coming here to Tokyo. So if you're a digital nomad and this could be your office. It's pretty cheap. What is that? 18,000 yen a month? That's what is that? $115 a month or something? And no entrance fee to enter into this group. In fact, I don't like taking paper because it just ends up in the. So you can get free coffee. Are they free coffees? That's interesting. So you have an office space here. And this location is good. Right in front of Shimbashi Station. Wow, that's really good. These get some lags. Try refreshing the browser. I've noticed Otani is everywhere. Aren't there any Cubs fans? Because the Dodgers and the Cubs are going to be playing. I might be cheering for the Cubbies just because there's too many Dodgers fans. I kind of like the underdogs. And yet, like, are the Cubs? Yeah, the Cubs would be underdogs. I kind of like the underdogs. But it's hard not to like Otani. And he's promoting onigiri. He's promoting everything, let's be honest. He's promoting onigiri, really delicious ones. Is that cheese? Oh my goodness, that looks really good. For Family Mart. What? Or as Peter says, manly fart? But he could have misspoken. Oh my goodness. Have you guys eaten Black Thunder? Black Sanda. If you ever got, if you come to Japan, you know, you've got like Snickers and Three Musketeers in the US. In Japan, we've got Black Thunder, baby. And this is so good. And they're making like confections out of it, like that shoe cream made out of Black Thunder. Oh my goodness. I almost want to get one right now. Yeah, JKO Adventures, I might have to cheer for the Cubs. I might have to cheer for the Cubs. Somebody from the Cubs Instagram page, I don't know if it was real, said that they wanted to send me a Cubs jersey. So I'm as a Midwesterner, I don't know. I'm gonna have to cheer against you. Otani, I'm gonna have to cheer against you. I'm gonna be going for the Cubbies. You don't need any more support. I'm gonna have to go with the Cubs. And imagine if they win. I'll be on the right side. I can't imagine that you look inside of the convenience store. Can you see the onigiri from? Oh, you see the musubi, the spam onigiri right there. I don't know. I get a message from it has 1.7 million followers on my Instagram, and I was really flattered that they watch the show. I guess they're learning about Japan. But if they sent me a Cubs jersey, I would wear that with pride. I would be a Cubby, for sure. That's always been a dream of mine, to go to Wrigley Stadium, the Wrigley Field, where Ferris Bueller took his day off. Wow. That's such a Japanese scene, right? With the rail line up above. That's Shimbashi right there. I'm so excited that Major League Baseball's coming to Tokyo like this, with Otani getting the Dodgers here. They know it's so good for Major League Baseball. It's so good for Japan. It's so good for everybody, except maybe the Dodgers and Cubs fans that got to make a really long trip here. But I'm kind of excited about this. Boy, that's smart. You see that? When you're walking on the street, this is half price. It's 150 yen to get these green teas at the vending machine. But you buy one here, well, 84 yen with the tax. And they get you in the store. Once you get in the store, you're gonna buy something else. That's smart. The vending machines are almost double that price. They probably don't make any money on the sale of that. Well, maybe, like 15, 20 yen. Wow. Here's McDonald's. Right now they've got the spring. I love that they put egg on the burgers like this. It's the charcoal grilled yakiniku teritama burger. That's got me drooling. I love the fact that the meat is much bigger than the bun. Look at the top bun is small. Or is it? I don't know. It just looks real small. So they've got the spring burgers out. Let's see, you can take a look at the menu, and you can price it up if you want. This is $20.25. The double meat patty, that's hampin is just the burger. So 640 yen for just the burger. That's pretty affordable. And I'd like to have this edamame corn salad. It's something. It's something. All right, here we are, Shimbashi. And McDonald's is, there's nothing wrong with McDonald's. I've always tried not to eat McDonald's, but actually it looks, they're making it so appetizing. There's nothing wrong with me. You gotta try, you know what? You really have to try McDonald's if you're coming to Japan. You really gotta try McDonald's. That is new. What is that? Gran Hama. Is that like a pachinko place or something? I don't know what that is. Can somebody tell me? It looks like a restaurant. What? I guess it's some sort of restaurant? I think the portion sizes might be smaller than in the United States at McDonald's, but oh, it's a food, entertainment, leisure building. Well, it certainly looks like something. Look at the gold. I wonder if this is where Ishiba will take President Trump when he visits. Japan is always looking to see where the Prime Minister takes the American president, and it becomes something that we all talk about. Food, entertainment, leisure building. This is new. This was not here last time. And it looks like they're gonna be building something next door. This old Showa era building is going the way of the dodo bird. I'm more of a silver. I like gray. I'm not really a gold type of a person. You won't see me wearing jewelry, but yeah, I'm silver. I don't know. I always think of Goldfinger. I always think of Sean Connery. I think of Ulrich Goldfinger. I know one of these days this building is not going to be here anymore. I think it's going to be sooner than later. But yeah, the new Shimbashi building is not new, but the style of it, I really think it's so iconic. I'll have to do an episode about it before we lose that. Just to check this out, I don't know exactly what this statue is. Hold on a second. Tokyo Toranomon Lions Club. So it's for the Lions Club of, there's gotta be a story behind it. I love asking questions and being real curious about the things I see. And I'm always learning stuff. Komoro soba. The thing with Komoro soba and these soba places, Fuji soba is a place I used to go to all the time too, these chains. They're not just soba, although this one looks like it's soba. You get soba sets. And this one, this oyakodon looks so good. Here's one with kakiage don, which is like tempura and some sort of a pancake. So good. And then you got to go with the roast katsudon here. Maybe that might be the one I would get. Oh my lord. Alliance supports the blind worldwide. Thank you. That's good. That's good to know. Okay, that makes a lot of sense with the guide dog there. Lions Club is everywhere. This plaza, this square, is such a big meeting point in Tokyo. It's always constantly in change, you know, this city. But this square has, except for that gold building, it's pretty much stayed the same. I think it's a German Shepherd, I'm not sure. The building kind of, it sort of fits in. These old Showa era buildings with all these floors, it just reminds me of like the bubble era, right? The way that the corners are rounded. Like this is what they thought the future was like, these real narrow buildings, and now they've got all these loan programs in there. I don't know, some of my Japanese friends call them loan sharks, but if you need money, you can get money, but you gotta pay like 30% interest on it. Whoa! I've never been on the square when that played. Did you guys know that played? I didn't know that did that. I've been here for 20. You guys know how long I've been here. I've never heard it make a noise. Is that new? Is that new? Is Irvin or Vaughn here? He usually stays in the area. Hold on a second, let me see here. What time is it? It must be 3. Okay, so it says here, I don't know, is that new? It goes off at 12, 3, and 6. There you go. There's the info. Pretty cool. Shimbashi was the first train station in Japan, I believe. Was it 1912 or something like that? Maybe a little bit earlier than that. Not at this spot. The Shimbashi station's on the other side of the station. You can still see the ruins of it. They've recreated it. It's really neat to see. I think that there's a Porsche shop right next to it. So it's near Shiodome, where that tall building is over there. So just on the other side, maybe about a 5-minute walk from here. That was very cool. We timed that right. I totally meant to do that. that was timed pretty good. That was timed pretty good. All right, everybody, I want to say thank you for watching. This was a lot of fun. If you haven't already, go check out. I released this video. I think you're really going to learn a lot about. There is a place we stayed. This was made in collaboration with the city of Tokyo. This took a long time to make. We filmed it in November. And then Kanai, Leo, and I, my wife and son, we drove out to a shukubo, which is typically a temple, but in this case, it was a Shinto shrine stay on the top of a mountain. We had to get a cable car to get there. I think you're gonna like this. This is the experience I think a lot of tourists are looking for, but you're not gonna find it here in central Tokyo. But it's still Tokyo. I really like making this, and I hope that I hope it inspires people to get outside of the city and learn a little bit about the geography of Tokyo. It's a lot bigger than you all think. It goes out thousands of kilometers out into to Iwo Jima, actually Iwo Jima, which is famous as Iwo Jima because of World War II. Japanese call it Iwo To. I didn't know about that until, I don't know, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. Iwo To, when I went to Ogasawara out there, which isn't too far away from there. And that's part of Tokyo City, Iwo To. And there's a couple other islands that are, I think, 2,000 kilometers away under the jurisdiction of Tokyo metropolitan area. So Governor Koike would be their ruler. It's interesting. But I lay that out in a map, and I'll talk about Tokyo's geography maybe this week and really lay that out to you, because once you understand that, it unlocks a lot of stuff. When you say Tokyo, you don't think of a city anymore. All right, everybody. We did it. We walked from Toranomon here. We got in a couple thousand steps, feel alive. When you're coming to Tokyo, definitely walk around, check it out. I'll see you in another episode tomorrow. Now go check out the main channel episode. That's my edited non-live channel with some good stuff over there, including me in a fundoshi running around in snow and ice. And I released that about 2 weeks ago. Main channel is getting a lot of love this year, folks. A lot of love. Thank you, Patreon supporters, and thank you for watching. Mata ne!